go to the whale watching tour, guys. The whale watching.
Señorita, water taxi.
Let's go to the arch, amigos, and the glass man boat.
Hey guys, you want to go to the arch?
Hello and welcome back to another video. We are again highlighting the series on the NCL Bliss, the Riviera Maya cruise, and here we are arriving in our favorite port, Los Cabos, Cabo San Lucas. So for those of you that are wondering, we had booked an excursion. It was called Luxury Sail and Snorkel, and it was a fancy, I guess, catamaran of sorts, and it was supposed to take us to see the arches, take us to a really secluded bay area for snorkeling, and it is a luxury cruise. It has an open bar the entire time that you're on board, and it also features a gourmet lunch. But before all that, we got off the boat, and for those of you who don't know, Cabo San Lucas is a tender port. So the ship, the Norwegian Bliss, basically just drops anchor, and then you have to either get a tender ticket, or use your excursion ticket to get on the tender. The tender then brings you into the port. And the port here is right next door to the marina in Cabo San Lucas. For those of you wondering, there's a lot going on at this port. So once you actually get off the little tender and you're here, shops, restaurants, lots of stuff to do, lots of things to see. And if you haven't booked anything, they are all over. Glass bottom boat rides to the arches, snorkeling, jet skiing. You can do everything, and you can just make your own plans once you're at that pier. I do want to say though, don't know how crowded it would get if there were more than one ship, but we were the only cruise ship that was, that had dropped its anchor, and that was in port that day. For those of you wondering, there was some change to the itinerary. This is the NCL Bliss. We left on the, I think it was the 23rd of February. So Cabo San Lucas ended up being our last port, and because we had to make it back to the port of LA for Sunday, and it would be one sea day in between, it was a short port day in Cabo San Lucas, which disappointed me a little because it turned out to be my favorite port. Alright, so here we are. You can kind of get a gist for the Catamaran. A really great crew, really great crew. They took care of us. Very clean, very comfortable. You can kind of see by the video here what it kind of looked like. There's the Bliss in the distance. So it was the only ship in port that day. The other thing I have to mention is that whale watching in the winter is a really big deal down in Cabo San Lucas. And even though it wasn't the kind of excursion we had booked, they had said that they would keep their eyes peeled and that we would be able to look around as we made our way from the arches to the snorkel spot and then back to the ship for whales. And we did, in fact, do just that. And yes, we saw whales. Hopefully we caught some of it on the video. I know we saw them spouting, we saw fin action, and we saw at least one breach. So I'll see how we do with the video and see if I can't highlight that in a little bit. There's the arches. And that's a pirate ship in the distance, kind of neat looking. So the whole arches area with Lover's Beach in between that section there, these different ships and boats, it gets a little crowded, do come in, and they do kind of hover and just kind of float around for a bit so everyone can get their pictures. I don't think they can just stand camp out there though, because they made it quite clear. Come on folks, we're only supposed to stay X amount of time. And we did stay, we did get our photos. They did take photos of us. It's all much bigger when you're actually there though. Look at the size of that. This is some really, really beautiful, beautiful footage. Gorgeous. And that's the famous arches, or arch, of Los Cabos. Look at all the boats. It was busy. Very busy. They're serving us drinks. They were taking care of us, open bar the whole time. If you are going to snorkel, they do not serve you alcohol before you snorkel, only after, and they do mark your wristband in such a way if you are going to snorkel so that you don't drink. And also they do supply on this particular excursion all of the snorkel equipment you'll need. So you'll get your fins, your snorkel, and your mask. Of course, you'll have to make sure you return everything, but they do give you all the equipment. Very scenic on our way out to the bay where the snorkeling was going to happen. We had a beautiful day in Cabo San Lucas, and it was not too hot. It wasn't too humid. It was sunny. It was just really a pleasure to be on this boat, and everyone on the boat I can't say enough about. In fact, I gave them all 5 stars when I got back on TripAdvisor. I could not recommend this excursion more. We had great excursions on this cruise, but this one was definitely the best. And look at the scenery. Look how beautiful Cabo San Lucas is. It's just absolutely stunning. If you ever have a chance to cruise and this is one of your port stops, I know you won't be disappointed. It is a great port stop. My only regret is I wish the ship could have stayed there much, much longer. Even overnight would be great.
Really easy. Before you get the stern, you have to remove your fins, your flip-flops under the water, okay? I'm gonna be waiting for you back there by the ladder. You can bring me all the stuff back, and as soon as you get on board, please, really important, you guys are gonna be walking. You guys are gonna be wet. Probably it's gonna be slippery. Be careful. Specifically when you go at the second level, or if you go to the bathroom after we do.
Thank you.
Let's go. Right or left side, you got room for both sides. Okay guys, even if you're gonna be in the group 1 or 2, so the ones are gonna stay on board. How many tequila?
Alright, so here we've arrived at the snorkel spot. They divided the group into 2 different sides of the boat. One for they call it the piddle paddle people, the people who are just going to swim around and have some fun. And then another group that would go with a guide off to the reef on the right. I, on the other hand, did not snorkel. I have a leg that hasn't been doing too well. I have some arthritis. It wasn't feeling its best. So I stayed on board with probably, I don't know, half a dozen to 10 other people. And here we are, feeding the fish. Yes, we fed the fish right from the back of the boat. They ate tortillas. Look at them, though. To be honest, if I were in the water with fish that big, I'd be a little, not freaked out, but they're big. Look. And the people here at the back of the boat were not considered the more adventurous people who were going to go off to the reef and do, more heavy-duty snorkeling. They put the lily pad out there, and they're hanging out and just kind of having fun. But look at the fish. And as long as they were giving them the tortillas, they weren't going anywhere. Cute, though. But bigger than I thought. So while I stayed on board and fed some fish and watched other people playing around and splashing around in the water, Dwayne did go off and he did bring our camera, our GoPro, and he was able to get some underwater footage. So as we finished up here with the feeding of the fish and with my getting some of the footage of the fish that were right at the surface, right at the back of the catamaran, Dwayne was off with the camera, and he'll be able to really do a play-by-play commentary about the snorkeling he did and what he saw and what the experience was like for those who went out a little bit further, and you can see them. They're on the far right of this camera here, or this camera shot here.
So here is where I went snorkeling, and there were quite a few different fish to be seen. So we're going to share a bit of video here with different schools of fish, different types of fish, little sergeant majors, grass, just a lot of other assorted fish through here. There was a bunch of us who went swimming. I'd say at least 10 or more people joined in. So, and once in a while you could follow just like a single fish around, or like I'm doing here, or sometimes I've been able to find a school. But I just kept recording little short segments, and I was really pleased with the way the video was captured using the GoPro. It's all done with our GoPro, and it's actually very nice. The quality was quite high, and it was actually pretty clear. I've been in other locations where the water was much cloudier than this. So when the light comes through, it's never that deep. I think the deepest we were at might have been 15 feet of water. So, yeah, here comes another school swimming by. The fish were not afraid at all. They would come right up to you. They wouldn't come to you. I think possibly we could have fed them, because there were just so many. And here I was seeing some tiny little blue fish hiding in the coral. And I know I went down there looking to see if I could find a nice sea urchin somewhere. And later on in this video I do actually find one. But the water was fairly warm. I'd say low 70s. It wasn't summertime warm, that's for sure. But it was pleasant enough. Once you got in, it just took a minute and you were used to it. So there's a nice school here that people are just sitting around watching. Now, we had a couple of guides with us who were actually able to go down, do some diving, and they pulled up a nice sea urchin. And I was able to hold on to it, and you'll see that shortly. And I think here's where I'm trying to dive down. I spot one, yeah. It's right towards the middle right there. There's a nice sea urchin. But I didn't stay down very long. Oh, and here they come. They're bringing a nice big one up. And I do get a chance to hold on to it, which is coming up in the next scene here. So they should, whoever wanted to hold it was able to hold. So it's really pretty big. It actually feels a little funny in your hand, because it's almost like you can feel it moving. And I like how it zoomed in when I went underwater with it. It looked really big. But that was it. Yeah, that was neat holding. I give it back to him. I go diving down again. I start seeing these little blue fish that I was following for a bit. I hadn't seen them before. I don't recall seeing them before. And as you can tell, it was really shallow there. The waves were almost hitting the coral, almost hitting the reef. And then I continued on over the reef, looking for other fish. They were really small here, because like I said, it was really shallow water. And I find some more of these little sergeant major types that are swimming around. And you can see all the bubbles. This is just really right near the shore. I'm probably 10, 15 feet from the shore. And I like that fish, so I followed him around and wanted to see where he went. He didn't really go too far. I came across this other section. It's really similar. There was not a ton of varieties of fish, but it was still nice to see them, and I was enjoying the water. It was very cool and comfortable. So, I mean, the weather wasn't too hot that we were having, but the water was a nice temperature. And that's it. I kind of land in this little area here, spot a couple more fish, and I think I start heading back towards the boat either at this point or very soon. Yeah, I'm definitely heading back towards the boat now. Here I am diving down, or trying to dive down. I wanted to get closer to the reef, but I think the waves kind of got me. I didn't really get to go too deep, and that was it.
Okay, so now comes the trip back from the snorkel spot. We, of course, did see the Bliss in the distance. Again, past the beautiful scenery on the way back. It was such a gorgeous day. What an amazing day. And it was on the trip back that we started spotting lots of, I guess what we would call whale watch boats, smaller than the boat we were on, which was a big catamaran. And we had some time, and even though it's not one of the included parts of the excursion, we hopefully would be lucky enough to be able, oh, there's a spout straight ahead. And yes, we saw whales. We saw whales everywhere. And even though it wasn't a whale watching excursion, the whales are there in Los Cabos, having their calves, having their little babies, coming down from Alaska, coming down and spending the winter down there, and then going back with their grown calves. Well, 1-year-old calves. Apparently they stay with their calves for a full year. Let's just watch the horizon for a bit. The afternoon was not as sunny. The wind had kicked up a little bit. We didn't think we would see any whales because you can see by the waves and things that the surf was a little bit higher. But yeah, no, we did see whales. That's a whaling. Yep, there's another spout right next to where the whale watch boat was. Oh, hump. Fluke? Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. Now, of course, Dwayne and I have gone to Alaska. We've done the whale watches there. We didn't even think of whale watching here, but this was a bonus. And after talking to the crew and people on the excursion, the staff, they said it happens all the time. Not every day, but almost every day they do see some whale activity. Let's just watch for a bit and see if we can all look straight ahead. And he did kind of cue everyone on the ship. You know, he did the 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and whenever somebody saw something, to just shout it out, and then everyone else could find the whale or whales. In many instances, we saw both moms as well as their calves. We're pretty close to the other whale watching boat here. I do think there'll be another whale looking straight ahead. It is fun to look for the whales, fun to find the spouts, really fun to see the humps and the flukes, really fun. Still looking. Hope this footage isn't too boring, but it is kind of fun to look ahead, and it's very realistic because this is what we're doing on the boat on our way back. Yeah. So far, really nothing. Hopefully there is something here to show you guys. I think we did get more whales and at least one breach. Not sure where it's going to appear in this footage. But anyway, very nice. Always nice to be out on the ocean. Always nice to be out on the sea. And definitely a privilege to share that ocean with something as huge and as beautiful as whales. Alrighty, nothing yet. Alright, so here we are still looking out for whale activity, but let me just kind of get to the end of this video here by saying thank you to everyone who supports Dwayne and Edie of Food, Travel, and Fun. We love sharing our recipes, we love sharing our travel videos, we love sharing all of our content with all of you, and we're so grateful for the support and for the people who enjoy watching. Not too much left. There is a fin right there, and I think we have a little bit more whale activity, but do want to say the reason for us sharing these videos is often to give people who have or are thinking about booking a cruise or a vacation or visiting a certain restaurant or even trying to make something new and different in their home, in their kitchen, an opportunity to realize, maybe I'll try something. Maybe I'll want to see ahead of time what it looks like or what it will be like. In our cruise videos, we really enjoy showing you not just the ports, but a little bit about the excursions that we booked. And again, this one was the Catamaran, luxury Catamaran sail and, luxury sail and snorkel. That's what it was called. The lunch, by the way, I don't think I got any of that on video because it was just intrusive to try to do it while we were eating with everyone else. The lunch was a beautiful meal of fajitas, both chicken as well as beef, fresh vegetables, refried beans, and also some saffron rice. And it came with homemade flour and corn tortillas. And they had the most amazing green salsa to enjoy it with. And it came out hot and fresh. There was someone down in the bottom of the Catamaran in the kitchen in the galley area making it for us. And it was a big, huge lunch buffet. Everyone got a chance to eat as much as they would like. And of course, this also came with an included open bar.